Yes, sir.
The coronavirus. It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
How should you?
I like that. That was interesting.
Hey.
Hey.
Change this look up real quick.
Yeah, we need to make sure that everybody knows that Messiah is more important than everybody.
Hey, let me say that it is so cool to see you in your element, Marty.
Yeah, we're doing the damn thing.
But
it's been close to a decade since we've hung out. So you with no dreads is fucking me all the way up.
Oh, I forgot. I
had dreads all the way up.
Yes, sir. This is what happens when you get old. Don't let the just for men fool you.
Just for
men. I'll tell you this. You remember when I used to have the longer hair too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember thought he just had the long hair. Well, he had the long,
Yes, I had the real down to the.
Oh, you guys were like
back dreads.
You guys thought you guys were 80s rock stars over there.
I've been doing for so long now, I forget that y'all met me when I had dreads. That's so funny.
Yeah, that was back in the days.
Back in the day.
Before when Netflix was the only streaming service trying to get your $20 a month.
You know what I'm saying?
Send you 3 DVDs every month.
Little did we know.
For real. And little did we know is a great segue into the meat and the potatoes of our discussion this evening. I watched your second episode and I was floored, and it inspired me to bring you on tonight's show because there's been a lot of talk in especially Black America, probably more so among Black women, but in Black America where patients don't get the kind of respect for their intelligence, their ability to know their own bodies and to explain symptoms and to express themselves and communicate themselves to medical professionals of all races, including other Black doctors. So
you seem like there's a recent horrible article about Black women in pregnancies, dealing with weird situations in pregnancies, and the doctors don't believe them, and then this miscarriages, people are dying. So it's it's a lot of times you have to either be your own advocate or hopefully someone else does it for you.
And you have to understand where you are, right? Yeah. I don't know if I'm fortunate or unfortunate, but my kidneys failed when I was 20.
So first of all, I guess just wrap it as concise. So what was the story about being immunocompromised? What's the story about that?
So I have a kidney disease called focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. It's hereditary disease. So I've had it. I didn't know about it. I didn't discover it until I moved to New York from Philadelphia. I know my father was sick. Mm-hmm. You know, he was in a retirement home when I came here, but I didn't know the backstory. So I'm a pretty healthy dude. You know what I mean? I'm not as healthy as Marty, but I'm a healthy guy. So when I was younger, I kept having high blood pressure. It just wouldn't go away. I couldn't figure it out. So I met with the doctor that I still have today, and he started doing tests. He started asking, my background and things like that. And mind you, I just moved from Philadelphia to New York. I just started working at ACS. I was 18, 19 years old. this was my first, option to actually talk to a doctor and not do HMO and all that stuff. So we were talking, and he was like, well, tell me about your parents. So I told him about my parents. My father, after he told me my father was in a home, he's like, why? So I started asking questions like, what's going on with that? And they explained to me, oh, he has this kidney disease that he was born with, this focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. So I said, okay, this is what my dad had. So once I told the doctor that, he started testing me and found out, yeah, you have those traits too, and your kidney is 50% gone. And now, mind you, I'm 23.
Wait. You said it's 50% gone. Could you be a little bit more specific on what that means?
So how they
go
measure
away?
your kidney, you have two kidneys, right?
Yeah.
And how they measure your kidney is what your kidney does is it filters out poisons from your body, right? So anything that goes in goes through the kidney as a filter and it filters it out. If it's not working, you'll start seeing more chemicals in your body. You'll start seeing your potassium is high. You'll start seeing something called creatinine is going up. That's the measure of your kidney. So when they started running those specific tests, they saw that my kidney was functioning at 50%. Right?
Oh, I thought you meant like Thanos,
No.
like snapped and like half your kidney like physically disappeared, like turned into
What's
dust.
so crazy? The doctors don't even understand kidney failure. They ask me all the time, so do you still got your kidneys? Like, yeah, I still have the same bad kidneys in me. They don't take them out. They just get smaller and they stop working. So it's like people don't really get exactly what goes on.
So you have 4 kidneys in your body?
I have 4 kidneys in my body.
Oh, we got a regular mutant.
I have all kinds. I'm telling you,
we got to send you to the academy.
Yeah.
It's all making sense to me now. I was like, damn, something different about me. I'm superpowered. So after my doctor started looking into it, he gave me some options, and he was like, you know, we can treat it or we can wait. So I was like, all right, let's treat it, which was probably not the right thing to do because my dad didn't go onto dialysis until 60-something years old. Right? So he went on dialysis, then he ended up having a stroke. So I don't know if my kidneys would have lasted longer. So I started treating it. The treatment that they give you at the time was steroids. So they started giving me prednisone, and that it seemed to stop it for a second, but then it stopped working. And by 25, I was on dialysis. I think when I met you guys, did I have the tube in my neck when I met you guys? Because that's when I was sitting at my desk at the Foundling, and I'm sitting there, and I usually work late, so I'm sitting there, and my head is not clear, and my head is what is the moneymaker. So I'm like, I'm not thinking clear. I got up, I walked down the street to one of the hospitals down the street, and I was like, listen, something's up. You know, I'm like, I'm taking these kidney things, and I just don't feel right. My potassium was like 700. They were like, you're about to have a stroke. And they were like, your kidneys are failing right now. So
stop eating bananas.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it was way past bananas. It was crazy. So then I'm like, it was a Super Bowl. I remember the Super Bowl. I'm like, so am I gonna die right now, or can I go watch the Super Bowl and come back? They was like, all right, we're gonna give you a drink to bring down your potassium, and then you have to come in. And I came in after the Super Bowl, and they put a tube from my neck from my vein, and that's how they gave me dialysis the first time. And I got up.
What year was this?
This was, I want to say maybe 2003.
Wow, so 2003. So this has been almost more than like.
Oh yeah,
about
this
20 years.
Like 2000, because I know I got my first kidney, I think 2006. So it might have been 2004. I don't think I was on dialysis more than a year and a half. So it was somewhere around there. So, and I remember coming to work, and I remember talking, you know, I had just, you know, moved into this position where I hired a bunch of kids, like 30 kids. And I remember telling them, you know, they were complaining about something. And I'm like, I got a tube in my neck. Like, do your job and don't talk to me about nothing. I have a tube in my neck. You know, so I've been dealing with the kidney stuff for a while. And I've been fortunate in the sense that in 2005 or 6, my mother gave me a kidney.
Wow.
That kidney lasts into 2012. In 2012, I was more prepared, right? So when it first happened, I didn't understand kidney disease. So in 2012, I was more prepared. I understood that it was a possibility that it was going to happen. I was financially ready for it. So I was prepared to be on dialysis. Like I had taken training so I could do dialysis at home. I was more prepared. But
I had to really think about it too. Because when I heard about it, I was just like,
yeah, I remember. You actually,
because I was still pretty salty about my exit from the company.
Right.
But I was just like, yo, he was like my only real advocate there. And he's such a good person. And I had to really think about it because I had never had like a major surgery. And I'm thinking, if my kidney was a match, would I give up one? And then I thought to myself, I don't even know if I trust my kidneys to filter out my own garbage, but I'll still offer it anyway because he's worth it.
I thought that was such a that just solidified what I seen in you guys, right? I've always been one of the things that I'm really good at is evaluating people, and I seen something in each person that I spoke with. I felt like they had something in them that I can pull forward. You know what I mean? And when you're in
Absolutely.
those corporate positions like I'm in, they don't allow they want me to hire people with degrees and all this other stuff. And I broke from that. I said, I'm gonna hire whoever I feel is right. I don't
Right.
care what their background is. I'm gonna make these people something. And I invested in a bunch of them. And I have to say, I look in on each one of them, individually, and everybody that I got involved with, they're all prospering, and that makes me like
You
I take full
it's
credit one.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and it
There's a
makes
bit of
me feel
vindication that
good.
comes from that.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like y'all my kids. Like I see y'all doing different things, and I'm like, I got them early, and made them go in a different direction, and that makes me feel good.
But
So, so what?
but more than just giving
I just
people
want
opportunities.
wait. I
One
just want
second,
to.
Messiah.
No,
One second.
I gotta go to the because we like. I want to put this on YouTube. That's the thing. So we
Sorry.
can.
Oh yeah, I know,
Exactly.
but I
Yeah,
think
let
it's
me finish,
important
Scotty Virginia.
for people to
Scotty
hear
Virginia.
this
Yeah,
about
no,
him.
yeah, no. We can
Why?
no. I want to get back to talking to him, but I want to just get this segment concise for YouTube. So we can put it up
Yep.
there because if we're long with it, I'm not editing that. So like,
Mhm.
I have not you.
No
I have
edits.
to edit this. You don't have to edit it. So that's the problem.
Mhm.
So like, so I want to just talk about what's happening. Like right before the pandemic. Like, what were you up to last year?
So
Like, so
I was
January.
lucky, right? So right before everything went crazy, it was in March. It was actually in February. I was planning a birthday party for my son. I got sick. I went to the hospital and to get a MRI or something, and I saw the chaos. Right? It was chaos.
Chaos dimension.
I told them that I had something going on with my chest, and they acted like I was the plague. They put me to the side. They gave me all these tests, and this is when COVID was just coming out. So from that point on, when I was sick, I stayed home. I never went back to work since February of last year, and I've been super careful. I've been so lucky. Like I don't, my job. I work for I contract for the state.
Oh,
I
wow.
told them once I was sick that as COVID was coming out, I didn't feel comfortable going into the office. So I said, I'm going to work from home. And I started working from home in February of last year. So I felt I was very lucky to not feel like I could get COVID. I've been home, I've been focused, I've been working remotely. Everything has been going excellent. I have two kids. I've been able to, remote learn with my kids and go to my yard and play with my children. It's been great, as far as being prepared not to get COVID. The one flaw I have is that I can't turn my back on family, right? So the way I end up getting it, and the reason why I can be so concise about how I contracted it, is because I've been the one in the family arguing with my family that we need to take this seriously because it can kill me, right? So there, I'm the house where everyone comes over, they want to hang out. I have a house. I'm not, we live in New York. I'm the only one to have a house.
No, but already,
like,
you have a whole community of people that you
exactly.
inspire. So already you're the center. You're like the epic center of people coming over.
So I've been explaining to them, this is serious. Yeah. I'm not trying to die from a virus. I didn't have 2 kidney surgeries. I didn't have all these crazy things happen to me.
I ain't going out like this.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So then I'm telling them, okay, so I've been preaching to them to be careful, whatever. It just so happens on February 28th, one of my cousin's mothers died. I get a text in the morning from my aunt. She says that the father, my first cousin, and her brother are there with her in Philadelphia. And my little cousin is home going crazy. She's losing it. This is the text I get. So knowing me, Marty, what am I going to do? I'm going to go make sure she's okay. She's my family. So I went. Before I got in the car, she said, she was like, meet me to pick up Isaiah, which is her son. She said, I went to go meet her. She told me that he was out of school because he needed to get COVID tested.
Oh wow.
But she said he was like, no, I'm good, and he wasn't sneezing, coughing. We all had on our masks. It was fine. So I didn't, I remember the conversation, but I was like, it's just me and her, and I'm not going to leave her. So I took her back to her house. We, like she was physically upset. She didn't get to see her mom die. Her mom was in the hospital. She died. They contacted someone else, so she never got to see the body. So she was distraught. She was a mess. She ended up going to sleep. Usually, me being who I am, I would bounce. But Isaiah, my little cousin, he said, don't go. So me and him started playing around and making videos. My mask was off. I took a video of it, of me and him playing, because I haven't seen him in 3 years. And just like that, I got COVID. So that was the 28th. On the 8th, I started feeling something sick. I started feeling, I woke up and my toes felt like I had frostbite. It wasn't like, a little chill. Like they talk about COVID like it's the flu, and you're going to get flu-like symptoms. Yeah, they're flu-like symptoms, but they're extreme flu-like symptoms. I felt like my toes were in cold water, where I'm taking off my socks and I'm squeezing my toes. Like, what the hell?
Oh, that's me every winter.
Right, but it was so crazy. So I'm like, damn, that's deep. I'm like, my toes are not getting warm. So that was the first thing. Then all of a sudden I had diarrhea out of nowhere. Boom, like it was crazy. So I'm telling my wife, I'm like, I'm sick. Something's up. I'm going down the basement. So I went down the basement where I'm at now, and I quarantined myself. I said, I'm gonna stay down here and figure out what's going on. I never thought it could be COVID because I've been so safe. I called my doctor this was Tuesday. I called my doctor. Again, I've been my same doctor for 26 years. I call him, he calls me back, we do a video conference. I'm like, I had chills on this day. I said, today I've had diarrhea and I'm exhausted. He was like, it sounds like you got the flu, but COVID is still real. This is his conversation with me. I'm going to get you COVID tested. So I'm like, all right. He was like, just stay in the house, and then on Thursday at 3:00, I'm going to schedule you for a COVID test. This was his words to me. So I said, okay. Then I woke up. I went on Wednesday. I woke up and I was exhausted. And my son, I know I was exhausted because I'm really good at quarantining myself. That's how I get better most of the time. My son comes down the steps and he lays down with me on the couch in the basement. And I'm calling my wife, like, come get him. But I could not physically pick him up. I couldn't pick him up. And I'm like, Dax, something is wrong. So I called my doctor again. I said, I'm really tired. He was like, don't worry, on Thursday we'll get you tested. He said, the only problem is you won't get the results till Monday. So that's in my head now that something is up. So now I'm starting, once I know I'm sick, I'm like, I'm not gonna let it beat me. I get up, I start walking, I start breathing in, making sure I'm trying to work up a sweat. I'm trying to test my oxygen. I start feeling something in my chest, and I've had pneumonia before. So I'm like, oh, that's something. So after that, I told my wife, I was like, listen, I'm sick. She was like, I'm gonna make you some soup. I remember her making the soup and leaving it at the steps. I remember picking up the spoon, and I don't remember eating it. I woke up at 12 o'clock in the morning, and I hadn't touched the soup. And that means that I went to sleep mid-sip. After that, I got up. I said, I'm going to the emergency room. I got up. I went to the emergency room.
That sounds like some body snatcher shit.
So it was unreal. But the thing that I'm trying to explain to people is I was 5 hours away from dying. If I would have listened to my doctor, if I would have waited to 3:30 on Thursday,
Oh my God.
and then waited for my test on Monday, I would be dead right now. Because at 3:00 a.m. on Thursday, when I went to the emergency room, I could not breathe.
And this is not to say he's a bad doctor. That's
No,
just to say that you should
he's a
listen to
great
your
doctor.
goddamn body.
He's a great doctor, but the instructions they're given are not for me.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
giving instructions for a healthy person. They tell you don't worry about it. Stay in your house unless your fever spikes. I haven't had a fever in 8 years. I take medication that prevents my body from fighting. A fever is your body fighting infection.
Yeah,
My
the
body doesn't do
anti-rejection
that.
medications. Right?
Exactly.
Oh wow.
So when I got to the emergency room,
lucky
I
you went to the
didn't have a
doctor.
fever.
Oh wow.
My temperature was 100.9. Now to everyone else, that's not even a low grade fever. To me, who monitors my health, who hasn't had a temperature rise in 8 years, I knew right then something is wrong.
That's the equivalent of 106 for somebody else.
Or higher. Because
Yeah.
that means my body reacted to something. And my body
Right.
is built not to.
That's your
So right
cytokine
there-
storm.
Yeah.
Right.
So right there I said, okay, I was poised. I was like, something is up. Still didn't think it was COVID. Thought I had pneumonia because I've had pneumonia before. Didn't know it was such thing as COVID pneumonia. So they give me the test, and you know me. I'm a very prepared dude. You know what I mean? Like I have everything. I have my computer stuff. I have all my tests. I get every test that they take from me comes to my phone first, and I know what's going on. So once they gave me the COVID test, maybe 10, 20 minutes later, boom, it pops up on my phone. I'm like, COVID positive. So now my worst fear. I've been trying to not get this for a year, but I already had researched stuff, and I know how scared my family was going to be. So I called my wife. I was like, listen, I need you to stay calm. I need everybody to stay calm. I'm COVID positive. I got COVID pneumonia, but I'm ready. And I called my wife. I called my wife first. I called my mom, my sister, and my brother. I told everybody stay calm. So then I have a good team. You know what I'm saying? I called my cousin. I'm like, I know I'm going to be in the hospital. I need a cell phone. Bring me my cell phone cord so my phone doesn't die, so I can keep researching. So the doctor came in. He was like, I'm like, I know. I'm COVID positive. I came to my phone. He was like, came to your phone already? Yeah.
Which hospital was this?
This was Queens Presbyterian Hospital. So I told him, I understand. And the first thing I did is I understand hospitals. I've been in hospitals back and forth for 20 years. Hospitals are businesses. Everyone has a role, just like the roles I had when I was working at the county.
And they will diagnose you to the money that they think you have instead of diagnosing you to what you have.
More than that, they're scared to go over their boundaries. So a nurse is not going to be a doctor. A PA is not going to be a doctor. The person who takes your oxygen is just going to take your oxygen. The person that checks your sugar, they don't step over their bounds. When it comes to COVID, they don't have a plan, right? So now you're facing something that needs immediate attention, but they don't know what to do. So now I'm here. So I'm telling the doctor, listen, I have a kidney disease. I have this. I have that. Don't worry about that. Kidney is not going to kill me. Treat the COVID. Don't treat the creatinine. Don't treat the diabetes. Treat COVID. And this is what I want done. And that's how it started.
That's the part of your story that struck me the most. I was like, we need to get him on BPMH.
Yeah.
Because people need to hear that.
What happens in hospitals is they start scrambling. Oh, well, his blood pressure high. Let's bring down his pressure. Oh, his diabetes is high. Let's do this. Oh, his creatinine high. We can't give him this. No. What can kill me right now today is COVID. So I want antibody treatments. I want antiviral treatments. I want to make sure you check me for DVTs because I heard that you can have a high factor of that. Put me on blood thinners. Let's go right now. And that's exactly what they did. They moved. By 9 o'clock, I got in the emergency room at 3 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, I had my first treatment. And that's the only reason I am here.
God fucking damn.
And not only that, they still didn't give me exactly what I wanted, which prompted me to start talking about it more. Right?
It's scary how this story is like so common for
5 hours.
For black people.
5 hours.
Black people who advocate, you have to advocate for yourself. I already know. I've been you already been dealing with this for like almost 20 years. Like you already know what the issue is. Is like you're dealing with COVID now. And it always seems like people make the assumption that, we don't know our bodies, like, oh, we don't understand our bodies.
No.
Grand assumption right away, and like in the bureaucracy is like almost structured like that because it doesn't want, it doesn't want
But
people to step foot. Yeah,
they expect you to be panicking.
yeah,
So I had to make sure, and the communication is important,
yeah.
right? I didn't yell. I don't go to the doctors. I don't yell. I don't scream. I told the guy, settle down. I understand I have COVID. I don't need explanation of it. What I need you to do is treat me for COVID. This is what I want you to do. And he stood there and he listened and he started to talk again. I said, listen to me. I believe that time is important. My body is not going to help me. So I need you to help me. And he started giving me paper. Sign this. This will give you your phosphorus antibodies. Sign this for remdesivir. Sign this for, and once I signed it, I knew what was happening. So by 9 o'clock, before I got to a room, I had a treatment of antibodies, of antiviral, of blood thinners, of steroids in my body. And that's the only reason I'm sitting here talking to you guys.
It's really important. It's really important thing that I teach my clients, because, me being in the fitness game, you would think, oh, it's about making your body look like this or be able to lift that. But one of the things that I teach as a cornerstone of my practice is that you have to actually love yourself. And I'm not talking about selfish love. I mean the type of love where you do not ignore anything that you are experiencing, be it emotional or physical. So we've been programmed to ignore pain, to ignore signals that our bodies give us. We don't drink water when we should. We don't eat food when we should.
Because people can't afford it to
you have to value
moment.
what you have, right? Yeah. So my thing to the doctor is I'm telling him, you guys seem confused, right? What I'm telling you is I'm a real person. I'm sitting here. I have 2 kids at home. I have a wife. I'm not trying to die. And I want you to take that in because I'm asking you for help. So what I want you to do is to poise yourself, give me what I need to stay alive. That's it.
Worry about the rest later.
Worry about the rest later.
So I just want to get into the real, exploratory thing that's happening now. Actually, people are talking about it more now because it's getting more. Because now people feel like the pandemic is over, but it's not. But people are talking about long COVID-19, almost feels like people are really not really considering the financial cost of that, the medical cost of that, and it's not over yet. We can't just stop, or give up, and all of a sudden, studies are just now starting now about what's happening with that. Right. So tell me how that process has been, as well as being immune compromised, going into this new kind of frontier right now when it comes to.
I think the biggest thing that I've seen when it comes to this is that even though we're supposed to be in a pandemic, they don't seem prepared. So people talk about COVID not being around, but when I was in the hospital, there was a full hospital of COVID patients. So I'm confused, right? So we're in New York City, and again, I know everybody is tired of it. And we're tired of masks. We're tired of social distancing. But
I'm not tired of social distancing. Give me 10 or 15 more years of that.
Yeah. But I'm in the hospital now, and everybody is saying that COVID is not there. And I'm in a hospital full of people with COVID. Right? So I'm thinking, I'm a little calmer, right? Because I'm thinking, they've been doing this for a year. We're in a pandemic. They ready for me. They're not. They weren't ready for me. They were ready for a regular person.
They were ready for Messiah.
Maybe. But they weren't ready for me. They had no clue on how to take
or some random healthy white guy we know.
Right.
They were ready for them.
And then my thing is, I like my doctor. The first doctor I spoke with, Dr. Sue, he was the first one that treated me. He was good. The one thing he didn't do, and I've been in hospitals a long time, I told him, whatever I'm telling you, write it in your notes. And I said, the reason why I'm asking you to do that is because I've been in hospitals before, and I understand when your shift is over, you go home. The doctor you're not going to confer with the doctor that's going to treat me long term. The only way he's going to know my wishes And I don't know where I'm going now, mind you. Now I'm already, feeling more pressure on my lungs. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to physically talk to these people. Write it down. Tell him what I want. He was like, no problem. I'm going to do it. He didn't do it.
It almost feels like talking to you more tonight. It almost feels like, instead of like these health insurance companies hiring more debt collectors or whatever, they need to hire people like you have to self-knowledge on your own, but they literally need to hire people like you who to get paid to do that for people. They paid what you're doing for yourself. People need to literally get paid to do that for other people.
To keep your case structured. It's supposed to be a case manager.
Yeah.
I didn't see her the whole trip.
Yeah.
Right? But somebody needs to figure out the little thing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And that was my thing. I'm like, I didn't mind my doctors. They listened. They did what I asked them to do. The doctor that treated me was a young black guy. He was from Philly like me. Yeah. He was very honest. And that's all I care about from the doctors. I don't need you to act smarter than you are. People think doctors are magic. They're just people who study medicine. Just like I study computers. That doesn't mean
still
I know
students
everything
too.
about a computer. You know what I mean?
Yep. They're still students
I
too.
don't expect you to make up shit. He told me, listen, this is what I can tell you. This is what we know. This is what I'm going to do. If you think of anything else you want, let me know.
Doctors are really troubleshooting your body. They don't know what's wrong with you. They got to troubleshoot it and figure it out. Yeah, exactly.
That's why your first line of defense is your ability to communicate, because a doctor can't do shit about anything if you can't communicate to them in some way what is wrong with you.
Right. And they don't, and again, they're trying to process. It's like a caseworker. They have a bunch of patients. They got to try to keep all this in their head and move to the next person and move to the next person and move to the next. It's the only way it works is if they write it down so that they can read what they've done and go back and figure it out. So
the healthcare system is such a mess. Literally, you need to find someone to help you find insurance, and you need to help you to find the deal with the doctors. You need is there any way this is going to get like streamlined one day before it becomes
hospitals are a business. Hospital people for the reason why they tell you to get your own doctor, right? They tell everybody you need your own primary physician because a hospital is not built to be personal. It's a business. They have shift changes. They have roles. They're not built to care about you. Yeah. They're built to keep you from dying.
Well, that's a sobering thought.
And again, if it was anybody else, they would have done a good job. But for me, the things that they missed could have killed me. So now I'm here. I have COVID. So now I'm feeling sick. I'm like, I walked in here. I felt a little bit of pressure on my lungs, like, that I had pneumonia, but physically I felt good. I was strong. Now I'm in this bed and I'm like, I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling lightheaded. I'm feeling more tired. And they're asking me questions. You have a headache? Yes. You have this? Yes. So then I'm like, and I'm determined this ain't going to kill me. So then I look up, I open my mask. Now, mind you, I've been in the hospital from 3 a.m. on Thursday. This is Tuesday. I have not moved my mask from my face because now I'm in the hospital and I'm nervous because it's germs.
What does it smell like?
I pulled down my mask. It was disgusting. It was full of dirt and sweat and cough, and it was filthy. And I said, these people have not offered me a mask. I said, I'm sitting here feeling lightheaded because I'm about to have a staph infection. I'm breathing in this shit. Now, mind you, when you home, like I'm home now, I can take my mask off. Oh, yeah. Right? And you get some air. I'm in the hospital now. My mask stayed on my face the whole time. Through the coughing, through the moving through the hospital, through them taking me to x-ray and here. My mask never moved from this spot. When I looked at my mask and I took it down for the first time, I was like, I told the nurse, do you know that no one's giving me a mask? She's like, yeah, they don't give us none either. And I'm thinking to myself, why do I care what they give you? I got COVID. I'm sitting here dying. So I called my brother, yo, bring me a mask, bring me clothes. And the whole time they're telling me, take it easy, stay in the bed. I said, I'm not listening to nothing anybody. I got up. I said, you guys give me a mask. We don't know. Give me a mask. I went in the bathroom, I washed my face, I took a shower, and I start walking.
You know, you getting up might have also helped save you too, because when you lay
I was
down and those
feeling
fluids
sick.
build up in your lungs
Yeah,
while you're laying on your back,
yeah. And I was
you
feeling
start
sick. I
drowning.
was feeling like, oh my God, this thing got me. And as soon as I took that mask off and took a shower and washed my face and started moving, and now mind you, the communication, and again, that's another reason why I say my doctor was good, right? My doctor, he told me the worst thing you can do, this is his instructions, the worst thing you can do is be in this bed.
Yeah.
So now that's his first conversation with me. Now I'm feeling sick, I'm tired. And now once I realized that they missed this mask thing, what else have they missed? Did they clean my room? Did they wash my bed? Where other germs are around me?
And it's not even about you dying. If you're
Yeah.
full of the Rona and you don't have a new mask, you could give it to the nurse and the doctors and all that
Anybody.
shit. Yeah.
So I get up, I start walking, and the nurses are telling me the opposite of the doctors. Slow down. I said, let me tell you something, lady. I'm not dying here. Nobody's here. I don't know anyone here. I am going to do what I need to do to get home. Now, if I die here, great. It might happen, but I'm not dying in no hospital. So I got up, I washed my face, I started walking back and forth. And I bought my own stuff because I'm asking them, can I have a monitor while I walk, right? And they're like, oh, we don't have extras. Mine, just a bunch of them sitting on the side. I said, no problem. I called my wife, order on Amazon. She ordered me this. I start walking right away. So now I'm walking and I'm testing my oxygen.
Your blood ox.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm testing my oxygen. I'm like, look at my heart rate.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy right now.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that's still happening with the coronavirus. My heart rate is all over the place. So
yeah, because the heart is weak, so it's going to pump more times.
Can you show
because
that? Can you show
it's
that
weaker.
again? Can you show the rate again?
Yeah.
Show that again. Yeah.
You know, it's really great that you got up from there, because they said that if you get to the ventilator stage, you're almost guaranteed to die. And why is that? Because when you have a machine start to do the breathing for you, your body then gets the cue that it's time to shut down.
Exactly.
So by you saying no, I'm not done.
Nope.
It lets your body know, no, we're not going to start, the shutting down process. We need to stay booted up.
So I started moving, and I'm measuring my own oxygen, and I'm noticing. I'm like, okay, my oxygen is dropping, but it's only dropping to like 93 while I'm walking. And
this is after COVID. This is after.
This is while I have COVID. I still have COVID.
It's still COVID.
I just got tested when I went to the emergency room, and I'm still positive.
Wow.
After how many days?
I'm gonna get to that, because that's another problem. And the reason, and again, one of the things that people don't get.
I'm never leaving my house ever again.
I put up that GoFundMe, and Marty knows me. I'm a pretty well off dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay, but I have to get people's attention. They need to hear what I'm saying.
Like I said, I've never given the GoFundMe before,
right?
But I put money up.
For me to do it, and people see it, they started looking like, what's going on with MJ? Like, they were like, this is serious.
So this is the GoFundMe right here that you put up.
Yeah.
So
and I wrote this in the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, I wrote this the day I came home when I found out my son was positive.
So pretty much what's happening, like, people just don't realize that, once, like, after COVID is a course as well. It's not over yet, And
again, I'm willing to invest in myself 100%. So I don't care if I have to mortgage my house. I'm not dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's true. So one of the things that I have to do, that because I take this seriously, and a lot of people may not get it, but I've been through stuff. This is not going to end me. So I have to focus. I have to use all that I know and focus on what I'm feeling, so that I don't let a doctor kill me. Because if I would have listened to my doctor, I would be dead right now. So this is.
You had that IT training, man.
Yeah, I'm organized in here. I remember everything.
He's like that OSI model. All right, take care of COVID.
I can talk about shit that we talked about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
My mind is crazy.
So thank you. So I just want to close that chapter real quick. Like, thank you, Meneek, for sharing that story about, I mean, being brave about sharing that story and continuing to share the story on YouTube. And we're gonna share the link when we share this on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook.
Link down in the description.
It's gonna be all over the place. So
and take a look at the videos that I'm putting up because it's a problem.